welcome to edition 3 of In the Blue Zone. You've just caught myself and Will warming up for this week's show. Well, what's been happening at Aberdeen Sport this week?
Yeah, we've had a really busy week. We had great fixtures and results all across the board. We had a bingo fundraiser for Aberdeen Rugby on Wednesday night, and we're also now into our 4-week countdown until varsity. Got two very special guests in the Blue Zone today.
Yeah, we've got Johnny Glenn from the Academy of Sport coming in, and we've also got Rebecca Jane Norville, one of the elite athletes here at Aberdeen University. Lots coming up. Well, you ready to do it?
Yeah, let's do
Let's do this! This week we had a high number of fixture cancellations due to the weather, and so we had a limited fixture card for you to report this week.
Yeah, that's right. We went to a lot of work to try to get the rugby fixtures on this week. Madras kindly lending us their pitch. The first 15 were in the quarter-final of the Conference Cup. We're playing Glasgow Uni 2s. Very close game, beat them 15-12 in the last few minutes of the game. The second 15 lost 34-0 to a very organised St Andrews Fours team. And also we had hockey, which ended 1-1, but our girls won on penalty flicks. Also Holly Fisher was given a green card.
Shocking. Other fixtures, we had the women's football who travelled down to Stirling in what was a potential league decider. Unfortunately, they faced a very strong Stirling outfit and lost 3-0 on the day. So it's still in our hands. Can do it, come on girls. Other fixtures we had were the netball ones who played Dundee 2s, and they won 52-35 over at ISE, which is always sweet to beat the enemy on the other side of the city. The netball 2s, they lost to strong Stirling 4s 32-26. I think it's time to head over and meet our guests in the Blue Zone. What do you think?
Yeah, that's right. We've got very special guests this week. Let's go over to the Hannah McClure Centre. We're up here again in the Hannah McClure Centre. This week we have two very special guests. We've got Rebecca Norville, who's part of the Elite Athlete Development Programme, and Johnny Glenn, who's the representation of the Dundee Academy of Sport. Guys, welcome. How are we doing? Morning.
Good. Very good.
I'm going to say you got a very nice haircut this week. You're looking fresh.
Oh, you're looking good. I wish I was wearing those shorts as well.
Oh, thank you very much. I've always said that any weather is shorts weather if you're tough enough. So thank you very much.
Like it.
Yeah. So how's the week been? Okay?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, busy but good.
Busy. So what kind of stuff do you do in the Dundee Academy of Sport? What's your role?
Well, I'm a teaching fellow and project assistant, so my role is essentially to try and improve articulation of college students coming to university, make it as easy as possible. We also teach at undergraduate level, which is fantastic, I love that. And we also do some stuff in schools where we try and teach stuff like numeracy and literacy through sport, give it a bit of context, make it a bit of fun.
We're quite fortunate at Aberdeen, aren't we, that we've kind of got like a partnership in terms of the transition from Dundee and Angus College, is that correct?
Yeah, Dundee and Angus and also Fife College, but there's also there's other colleges as well who can get direct entry into second or third year.
Good.
So it's just about making sure that transition's as easy as possible for them.
Good. And do you get quite a balance of workload between working with college students and school students, or?
Yeah, it's very varied. One day, about 2 years ago I remember, I taught at primary school, secondary school, college level, and I did a third year psychology lecture in the same day.
Right.
So it was very, very
Making you work for your buck.
Absolutely, absolutely, but it was great.
Good.
Part of the challenge.
Good. Novel, you do a bit of coaching yourself. Tell us a bit about that.
So I coach a variety of different sports. So my main elite sport that I do is equestrian vaulting, which most people haven't really heard about. So it's basically...
It looks mental though, it looks...
it's quite crazy, but it's basically like gymnastic moves on top of cantering horses. So I coach that at grassroots all the way through to elite as well. And then I actually coach the new under-15 district team for the netball team in Dundee. So.
How did you get into the equestrian stuff? Did you have horses growing up, or?
Yeah, so I live on a farm, and I had ponies like when I was younger, and I did pony club and then did gymnastics alongside, and then I came across someone that taught it and asked me to go along when I was 11.
So is it kind of through like growing up around horses and having a relationship with the ponies and things like that that you learned to develop a working relationship with a horse? Because to me, like trying to control a horse and vault on it sounds mental.
Yeah.
No way, I couldn't do it alone, I'm riding a horse, do you know?
So when we're vaulting, you yourself that's doing the moves on top of the horse isn't controlling the horse. There's a third person, like a third part to it. So there's a person that's standing in the middle who's called like the lunger, and they're in control of the horse, and the horse goes around in a circle, and then you can go on the horse.
Teamwork, I like that.
Yeah.
I suppose you obviously mentioned a bit of your background and growing up around ponies and things like that, and it's taken you to GB level, is that correct? So when did that come about? Like at what point in your kind of training program or your experience with this did it become that level?
So I started vaulting when I was 11, and by the following year I was asked into the GB squad. So I've been competing for GB since I was 12. So since 2008 all the way up to currently last year. But yeah, it's been really good fun, and I really enjoy it. So,
Yeah, brilliant.
yeah.
Johnny, you've obviously got quite a background in a variety of sports, don't you? You've got golf, football and hockey, to name a few.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about kind of your story and what you preferred and what you got involved in and where it took you.
Probably the sport I was best at is golf. The rest of them I was bang average at, but good lad to have around the place sort of thing. And I'm a far better football coach than I ever was a player.
Okay.
But I loved golf. Golf was the sport I played most growing up, golf and football. And I think the biggest influence for me was someone like my dad. So, I mean, I'm a Motherwell fan. He used to take me to all the Motherwell games. He used to take me to the golf course when I was 7.
Motherwell were good.
Motherwell are still good. Motherwell are still good. Yeah, but Motherwell were better then. So I grew up watching guys like James McFadden. He was my hero.
Talk about that goal, will we?
We will actually. Yeah, that was a wonderful strike. He also had that wee red rat tail for a while. Remember the thing James McFadden had? So I used to call him. Think that was
See,
cool.
if you're not a football fan and don't know what he's talking about, go search the McFadden tail. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a terrible haircut. So I remember watching Motherwell growing up all the time. I still go and watch them. And I played golf for a number of years. Got down to a decent handicap, and then tried to get a scholarship at university. And then you discover things like going out and partying and stuff like that, and that didn't quite happen. So
That's okay.
that's about the highlight in my sporting career in terms of a player. But currently coaching for Dundee, so that's good.
Yeah, you touched on coaching a wee bit. The amount you take away from the game, how effective do you think coaching lets you put back into the game? How fulfilling do you think it is?
Well, coaching's very fulfilling. I mean, essentially you're teaching, you've got a chance to shape young people's lives. And when you're working with the elite athletes, so sometimes the first team players at Dundee, you're trying to get that extra 1% difference that can make a difference between winning and losing, relegation and promotion. And I'm not saying I influence that, but if you feel you're improving somebody even by a small percentage, it's great. I love it. It's very rewarding.
In my experience, obviously, it's an individual sport, and maybe you can back me up here, working with certain people, and sometimes a change in scene can make the difference between having 1% and 2% in terms of your attitude even. Sometimes that's all you need. The opportunities are always surrounding you, but sometimes that wee change can make the biggest difference. Whether it's a serve in tennis, or I don't know if you can give us an equestrian example, because again I'm hopeless, but it's giving back is important, I think, coaching, because there's a lot of people out there who don't know that opportunity is there until we get that 1%. So in terms of obviously when you're working with athletes, or even as a coach, we'll start off from a coaching perspective.
Yeah.
We're talking about giving back. We're talking about giving that 1% and educating. That's quite a powerful thing. Is that what makes you tick as far as a coach goes? Do you feel like it's just that power and that being able to support people, or is there anything else that makes you really want to get out there and do what you do?
I think it's just because you want people to be from my perspective, I was taught from a coach to me, and I want to then put it back in as good as I kind of got the experience from my coach. And you the kids that you're coaching or whatever, from grassroots all the way up, you want to not them to be as good as you, but them to have the best possible opportunities that you've had. So I think it's just really important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, my background's a wee bit in psychology as well, so I like to understand what makes people tick, how different people learn, and it's just when you see somebody improving and you know that you've influenced that in some way, that for me is what rewards me. Mm-hmm. Because you think, well, actually I've helped make a difference to that person. So that's kind of why I coach. Certainly not for money.
So as a coach, do you feel as if you take a lot of pride in what you do and really take time to enjoy it as a coach? Because a lot of coaches out there are so hard working that they tend to overlook the fact they've been successful in what they do. Do you take the time to enjoy it?
So when I'm coaching the vaulting, what we actually do is we have a 3-hour session, and the older kids or older people actually coach the younger ones. So then when we then train later on in the evening, then it's quite a nice transition to be able to be in coaching and then being coached. And I think it's really nice to just see the progression in your own sport in such a small sport, because in vaulting there's not a lot of clubs like within Scotland, never mind in the UK, so it's such a unique sport that it's really important that you're putting across all your knowledge, and you're getting new knowledge all the time and doing all these different courses and whatnot to try and really understand and put it back into the sport. So it's what I take away from it is what I put into it as well, so
Absolutely.
it's really important.
What about yourself, Johnny?
For me, I don't really think you get the chance to enjoy it as much. I mean, I'm coaching 4 times a week after work, one of those times on a Sunday, so you're constantly under pressure, and you know, you don't really get the chance to sit back and enjoy it and say that's what I've done, until really the end of the season, and you break up and you think there's that kid there who couldn't pass the ball with his left foot, for example, and now is able to open up, receive and shoot with his left foot. So I think you don't really get the chance to enjoy it until there's a real break. But I think that's just the constant nature of sport.
Yeah,
for me.
I'd argue that.
You must really enjoy your end of year dinner.
I do. I love any free weekend. In fact, anyone who knows me from before coaching would know that I really love a free weekend. So.
You can come to our rugby Christmas dinner
Well,
next year. You're in for
Do we have shots like these as well?
I'd be delighted to. You know, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
So in terms of training, guys, coming back to the athlete perspective, there's different methods and models that people like to adopt and practices that they like to follow. I know personally that I liked an individual training schedule. I didn't like to train too many with other people. Well, coming from a rugby background, I take it you're very team orientated.
Yeah, definitely.
What about yourselves? What works for you as the athlete, Rebecca?
A variety of different things. So there's obviously things that you can do individually as well as part of a team. So in vaulting there's 3 different categories. So you have individual, pairs and then team, which consists of 6 people. So it just depends on what you're doing, what you're training. Obviously I'm up at university, so the rest of my teammates aren't necessarily in Dundee, so I kind of do bits and bobs by myself, and then when we all come together twice a week to train, then we're more of a team orientated training methods. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when I'm coaching, I've coached the age group I've coached by myself I coached them by myself for 2 years, and this year I've now had some extra help, which has been great because I love coaching and working as a team, but at the same time it's great to be able to pull one athlete to the side or a couple of athletes and say, right, we know you're not doing this quite right, here's what we'll do to work it and make it better. And I think you do need a combination of both.
Yeah.
You really do, because I'm sure it's the same in your sport.
Yeah.
Unless everyone's pulling in the same direction, you can't get what you want, but at the same time you've got to take one person out and say, well, this can make you better.
Yeah.
And this year I've had the opportunity to do this more than before because I've had someone I'm coaching with who I can trust, which is good.
There's an argument as well to be had about the age at which you're working with and the social development and the kind of skills that are associated with that can obviously be transferable in the sport. Would you agree? You can definitely see kids can definitely blossom when they've got their friends around them, for example, whereas if you put them in an individual setting there's maybe pressure. So there's not much of that in the way of football, is there, individual development?
I think there should be.
Okay.
I think there should be. I think you've got to try and improve individuals. You can't do everything as a team. So for example, just now we are taking, tonight for example, I'm coaching tonight and I'll be working with a couple of strikers. Next week I'll be working with a couple of midfielders and then defenders. And the goalkeepers get separate training. So you've got to make sure that you're improving the individual as well as working the team. I think that's really important.
Striking the balance then.
Absolutely, yeah. Because you've got to do a lot of stuff as a team but also improve each individual.
So we've obviously got our head-to-head challenge today, which the guys don't know yet. We're about to take them over to G11. Will, are you excited for this?
Absolutely. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Absolutely buzzing.
Right guys, we'll see you in G11 if you head over with us now. Guys, you ready? In this week's head-to-head challenge, guys, we've got Ross's Rip Roaring Round Ring Rodeo. In the challenge, we've got Johnny and Rebecca taking part by standing inside a hoop, and the challenge is going to be, when the timer starts, they're going to pick up the hoop right up over their head, put it down on the floor, and once it's set flat on the ground, go again and see how many times they can do this in 30 seconds. And the athlete who gets the most is going to be the winner. Okay, you guys up for the challenge?
Yeah.
You going to beat him?
Yeah.
You going to beat him?
She doesn't have a hoop in hell.
Oh, it's big talk. So you guys are going to have 30 seconds, okay? Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go! guys, really tightly contested event there. How'd you enjoy that?
It's good fun.
It was good.
Yeah, competitive side came out there, Johnny, didn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah, you think you got the better of him?
Yeah.
Right, well we can tell you guys, it's very close. Johnny here, running up with 15. Woo! One clap in the corner, Johnny. And the winner today was Norville with 16. Woo! How's it feel, Norville? You've won this week's head to head.
Good.
Good, did it feel good to get a bit of Johnny as well?
Yeah.
Anything to comment?
Just gutted, mate.
Gutted.
Gutted.
Were you under pressure?
Very much so. But don't stop me now. I'll come back next week.
This week is an absolutely colossal week for fixtures here at Abertay. It's semi-finals week of the Conference Cup. I'm dead excited. Will, tell us more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. First up, we've got women's hockey. The first 11 are away to Edinburgh Napier 1s, and that's in the semi-final. And then we've got rugby. The first 15 are against Strathclyde Uni 3s, and that's also in the semi-final. And then the second 15 are at home against St Andrews 4s, and that's in the league.
Brilliant. More cup action to come. We've got women's football who are home at Stirling 2s in the cup. We've got men's football 1s who are heading north to take on Aberdeen 1s in the cup. And then we've got men's football 2s who have a rearranged home fixture in the league against St Andrews 2s as well. Massive week, isn't it, for Abertay?
Absolutely. Dead excited. We're going to have 4 teams in the conference finals. Never before done in Abertay history.
Let's go Abertay, let's go!
This week we've got a huge amount of fixtures coming up. Obviously with all the finals coming, it's going to be really exciting. Ross, my ones to watch this week are going to be women's hockey 1s in the semi-final. Make sure you guys behave yourselves, no more green cards please.
My one to watch this week is the men's football who are up at Aberdeen in the cup semi-final as well. I think the boys have had a few weeks off and it's going to be a really exciting fixture for them. We wish all our teams all the best, and there's just one thing left for it, isn't there?
Come on Abertay.
Come on Abertay! Let's go!
See you next week.